G'day guys, Cam Wild Touring. You might have seen the last couple of weeks my kegerator showing up on my social media. So this video is about basically a rundown of what I've got here and how to make one yourself. But before we do anything, let's pour ourselves a beer. Honestly, this thing, it's pretty impractical. Straight up, it's bulky. It's not economical to build. It's fairly expensive to build. It takes up a heap of room, and it's obviously using extra power, but it's really cool. I think so anyway. So basically what you need to build one, I've got a Engel 40 litre fridge. Mine's the MTV 45, but any 40 litre Engel works, and a 2-zone extension lid. Now these things, I think Engel World in Midland were or are the supplier for these. I've tried to do some homework for you, and I've tried to call them and email them to ask them if they still sell these, because I actually picked mine up second hand. They never got back to me, so I can't answer that. They may not sell them anymore. You may have to source one second hand as well. They come with hinges that just fit straight onto the Engel, so that's really, really simple. And then essentially I've just drilled a hole through and fit a tap. Now this fits a 19 litre pin lock keg. That's really important that you use a pin lock keg, not a traditional ball lock keg, because they sit slightly taller. So it's got to be a pin lock keg, and it also fits a full size 2.6 kilo CO2 gas bottle and regulator. And I haven't had to put anything in there to keep that from moving because it was so tight, nothing's moving at all. Now, one of the main questions I get with this thing, since I've been putting pictures and photos and stuff up, when I go forward driving and I'm going over bumps and corrugations and rough stuff, does it just pour froth? As you've seen by that pour, and you know, this is the second trip I've used this thing, and it's actually the third canopy kegerator I've built. I'll show you quickly some pictures of some footage of the last two I built before this. This is the third one, and I can tell you they do not pour foam when you go forward driving. And the reason's pretty simple, really. This is no different, essentially, the keg. It's no different to a stubby or a can when you're going full driving. The reason that when you pull them out your fridge and open them, they don't just froth everywhere, is because they're kept cold and they're kept under pressure, and that keeps the CO2 or the gas in solution. So if you balance your beer lines correctly, which means you carbonate your beer at the same pressure that you dispense your beer, for me it's 14 PSI, or 12 to 14 PSI, then you'll have no problems pouring foam, as long as it's kept cold and under pressure. This thing makes sense for boys trips and stuff like that. It's not going to stay in the canopy long term. I'm not going to travel long term with it, because I can't give up the weight carrying capacity or the room for something like this, as much as I'd love to, not permanently. For me, this is really simple though, because my canopy is completely modular, and it fits by about 5 mil either side, top and bottom and sides. Just got really lucky with that. It wasn't designed to do that. But it's very simple, takes 5 minutes to stick in. Normally my outboard sits here on an outboard slide, and both the outboard on the outboard slide and the kegerator both just fit into the track on my floor with strut nuts. So yeah, 5-minute job to get that in or out. What I'll do is I'll show you a little bit of footage of me building this thing. I did take a few little videos. And if you have a look in the description below, I'll put a list of everything you need to make one yourself.
I wake up in the morning in this great blue state. Golden fingers caress my face. Slips through the window on a silky breeze. A dreamer's line to plant some seeds. She's my believer, healing all my doubts. A lighted mirror, reflecting out every true potential. A bedrock belief, an elaborate plot to set this bird free. Every element is based, every color that's attached. She paints pictures blue and green, and I release them to the sea. For the ancient memories, just as fleeting as a breeze. She paints pictures oceans blowing green, and I release them to the sea. How we lay in the sunset, white cotton in June, my body sings, and I join the tune. All the sirens calling, the crows leave their trees, but a peace pervades us, and the dreamers dream.
I recommend going to your local homebrew shop and telling them what you want to make. Give them my list if you like, and they'll be able to assemble it for you. If you're planning to make one and it's your absolute first kegerator build, you're probably likely to make some mistakes somewhere. So lean on your local homebrew store to get some help. They're really good at doing stuff like this, and that's certainly what I did my first kegerator build. So righto, there you go. I think that's pretty much everything you need to know to build one yourself, if you want to. And I think I'll wrap this one up there. Cheers, guys.